Disney troll thing. Hey,
Huh?
hey. The video for that. Of course, it's 7 o'clock. Never mind.
Hey guys, welcome to the Save Point Show. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're starting here. Yeah, episode 5. I am Sidious67, followed by hold on. Hold on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hi.
Sorry. Sidious67.
Petrie.
Laura?
Keza143.
And again, we are the Save Point Show. Welcome again to episode 5. We are excited to be here. This is a great. It's been an excellent week, man. A lot of cool stuff came out. A lot of stuff has happened. So yeah, what you guys been up to, guys? Total redundancy there.
Working on the show and playing Sims.
Working on the show, playing Sims. Well, I think you got a couple of new games though.
I did get a couple of new games.
You haven't played them yet.
I haven't played them yet. I'm planning on trying to stream them. I got the Sherlock Holmes, Crime and Punishment Sherlock Holmes for PS4. And I also got The Walking Dead Season 1 and 2. I actually picked up the PlayStation had the special of the Telltale games, and I picked up the whole pack.
Yes.
I'm excited. Hey, Bradley.
What you been up to, Caslin?
Playing the Lone Dog.
Sherlock, right?
Lone Dog, some NBA, some Dota. Same old.
Pandora.
I've been playing around with all the game, which I'm hoping to have a review soon. Is my audio not working?
Yeah, you're bugging out on us again.
Oh, this is crazy. Hang on. Am I okay now?
Sound clear now.
Clear?
Sounds clear.
Yeah.
Okay. I was asked real quickly if she still plans on streaming that Sherlock game, because I'd sure like to see that.
Yeah, I am. I am actually going to try to stream that.
All right, cool. And what I've been playing is what I'm trying to say before I wigged out on the mic. So I've been playing a little game called Tesla. It's a little indie game, a little fun side-scrolling game, and I will probably be doing once I complete it. But it's been a lot of fun playing it. So it's interesting because it's a little artsy, and that's what caught my attention was the art style of the game, because it looks hand-drawn. And there's really no there's no voice acting or anything. It's all told through action and story. So it's all done that way, music and just visuals, which I thought
cool
was pretty neat.
What was it called again?
That Teslagrad.
Teslagrad. Cool.
Like Tesla. Mm-hmm.
Like Nikolai Tesla.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it's what it. Yeah.
Well,
that's what it deals with. It deals
Tesla.
with magnetism. And, yeah. Because of the order.
Okay. Oh yeah, I've been playing the order. I played the order, and I will do. I haven't done it yet, but I will do a video review on the order. Loved the order. Hate the time frame of the order. It is too short. It's way too short. But it was a good storyline. I think they kind of gave you. I'm not going to give too much away. I'm not going to give anything away, actually. I think there was a huge shock value at the very end of the game. There was a lot of twists in the game, in the storyline of the game, and a lot of people are not happy about the ending. But it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. So, but yeah, I've been playing The Order. I've been playing an indie game called Besiege, which we'll get into a little bit later tonight. I've been playing another indie game called Grav, which again, that's actually going to be my indie pick of the week. It's an action survival game, and what else have I been playing? I've been playing a little bit more Destiny. I've been trying to get into Destiny a little bit more, playing a little bit more Dying Light. I still got to finish Dying Light. I procrastinated, my bad. So, but I mean, that's about. Hey, Retro, how you doing? Hey, Razix. Yeah, that's what I've been playing most recently. But The Order. I'm definitely going to replay that again. I want to platinum the game, but I have heard that platinuming that game is fairly simple. But it's like watching a movie, though. It's absolutely fantastic to watch. So let's get right into it today. So the first thing that we have that came to Pandora's attention, brought it to our attention, was this thing on Destiny. This kid, 11-year-old kid, was victimized by a troll, and had his Destiny account, like his character's accounts, deleted. Bungie, the creator of one of the biggest video games in the last year in Destiny, shared a video in its Thursday blog post that showed an 11-year-old player getting taken advantage by another online gamer. In the video, the 11-year-old Destiny player, I didn't have this queued up either. The 11-year-old Destiny player had one of his friends invite two gamers to his group, which one of them offered the 11-year-old a way to get to a secret glitch to help him to help his low-level character achieve higher levels more quickly. The boy took the player, Kermit the Frog, was the one that was offering, up on the offer, and basically allowed Kermit the Frog to share play his game. Once the 11-year-old kid shared played to Kermit the Frog, Kermit Frog proceeded to show him the glitch by logging out of the game and into his character select. The boy went AFK for a split second, said be right back, and Kermit the Frog proceeded to delete his account, all of his characters. He had 3 characters in total. He had a level 32 and a level
26.
I think it was a level 26 and a level 23. And he deleted the level 32, and he deleted the 26. And as the kid came back, he was already in the level 23, deleting some of his legendary weapons, and he quickly unplugged his basically turned off his PS4 and went back, and the poor kid was in tears. So I apologize, I did not have this I didn't have this queued up here, so, and of course things are running slow. Yay! But I do have video footage of that in just a second here, and we will show that now, if this will load up. Come on. Yes, I know it's using a high CPU usage. So while that's loading, I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next news, which further news in Destiny news is the House of Wolves, the new House of Wolves DLC, the massive multiplayer shooter. Destiny's next DLC expansion is called the House of Wolves, and
Can't
while
wait.
details for the pack is still limited, yeah, it sounds really cool. There is a sense that Bungie, the gamer's developer, is hard at work ensuring that the Wolves will reinvigorate the Destiny's experience for old and new players alike. Luke Smith, the designer at Bungie, shared an article at Cinema Blend that their first DLC pack, The Dark Below, had critical design flaws that created negative play experiences for many players. He cited the flawed loot system as being one major issue. Quote, our philosophy about rewards and loot continue to evolve as we see how players play and react. We will continue to improve acquisition stories and frequency. Lessen the grind, and get players to the fun parts of their arsenal faster, he said. While the loot system was somewhat improved in succeeding updates, Smith explained that the exotic shard mechanic remains an area of concern. Shards are a barrier between you and equipping a sweet new piece of gear. We want fewer barriers to equipping upgrades. The shards' economies raise those barriers between players and the new piece of gear they just got. So let's see. I do have that. Let me go back real quick, and we'll show that video of this kid here getting hacked, basically. Give me 1 second to screenshot this, and then I'm actually gonna. It's a long video. Let me skip down. There we go.
Yeah, this is graphic.
There we go. So there he is, actually deleting the character. Actually, let me restart it just real quick. I'm sorry. We'll start it from here.
Can you make it full screen, Sid?
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I should have sound.
Why? Oh, okay. Okay. All the viewers that are watching, this is a glitch to rank up your character past 20, I guess. So, yeah. Here we go. Okay. Here, hold on. Let me search one. Hold on. Okay, back. No. Oh my god, no, seriously?
Are you still getting heartburn flare-ups? Time for a new routine. Try Nexium 24-Hour, the latest choice for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Nexium Level Protection.
Oh my god. Kermit? Thank you. I didn't really want that weapon. I just didn't have that plan C. Didn't really want that weapon anyways too, so thank you. I didn't have the confidence to dismantle it, so thank you so much. No. No.
Yeah, that's not cool. I,
No.
he was. I mean, the family is getting a lot of flack from viewers, mainly saying a lot of that he got what he deserved because he was trying to cheat. Um, Honestly, though, I talked to some people. We've all technically been there. We've all tried to gotten ahead some one way or another. Yeah, I'm kind of emotional too, but I mean, we've all tried to get ahead some way or another in a game, whether it be a glitch or an exploit or whatever. But those characters that he had were done legitimately, and he did put a lot of hard work in it. And I mean, that's you don't do that. I mean, I really don't have any words to say. It's just it is heartbreaking. It's.
Oh, you can hear in his voice. His whole world just came down. And I may sound, like, God, doesn't he have anything else? Think about how many hours it takes to get a level 31 on Destiny. And you're 11 years old. This is what you do to relax and basically, maybe he has a really crappy school time, and maybe even, you don't know what this kid goes through every day at school and stuff. Maybe this is the only thing that really makes him feel like he's a part of something, and it was just stripped away from him.
Yeah. From what I have read, Bungie is looking into seeing what they can do to restore his characters. I guess they didn't have anything in place to help with that at first, but I believe they are looking into that. Several other people and other companies are actually reaching forward to the mother and this kid, and trying to give them some equipment to help them, to help him level up his new characters faster, just for that. So
Yeah, when I saw the story, I had to bring it to our show. I mean, it really touched me. I have an 11-year-old too. As a matter of fact, he's in the chat room right now. And I know the hours that some of these kids put into these games, and it's just like we do as adults. And they bond to these characters that they've spent so many hours with. And it was just devastating to this kid, man. It would have been devastating to me if somebody had done that to me. And I took the time before presenting this, the news to you guys, to try to reach out to the mother. So if I get any news back from the mother, we'll share that here on the show in the future. But it's definitely a very heartbreaking thing to hear this kid just literally break down into tears and cry. But I know where he's coming from. I thought he handled this for an 11-year-old. I thought he handled himself very well when he went back to talk to this Kermit the Frog, and was thanking him for doing, deleting items that he didn't have the guts to delete or whatever, and kind of held his composure long enough to not give this guy the satisfaction of knowing that it did upset him that deeply. So kudos to this kid to have the courage to go back in and talk to this Kermit the Frog, and not show any weakness until he was part of it. So kudos to the well.
So can Bungie ban the IP of this Kermit the Frog? I mean, I think that, he deserves some kind of serious punishment.
I think so too, but it's not like World of Warcraft where Destiny is a pay-to-play and they have full control. I don't know. Maybe they can, but I'm not sure if they're really allowed to do that. Be able to ban them. Oh, what happened? We just lost each. Oh, there we go. My desktop just erased, so they all. I don't know why. Every once in a while, all my windows close down, so I apologize for that. We lost pictures, so it's all back up now. So, but yeah, going back to that, I don't know if they're able to ban like his IP address or something like that. It would be nice knowing that would be done.
Right.
So
because he's going to continue to do this.
Well, yeah, he is going to be continuing to do this. And actually, if you actually watch the video, I know that's not the best quality. Unfortunately, that's the only quality of the video that I can get. But if you watch when he goes back into the chat room with this kid, there is the indication that they're share playing again. So it looks like he's already doing it to someone else. And there's 3 people in that chat room, so he's obviously done this before, and apparently he's going to continue to do it.
Yeah, he will.
If I could chime in here for a second too.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I mean, the best thing to do is what this kid has already done. He's already put it out there for people to see and react to. So the more people that do see it, the more of a chance that this guy, I don't know what he is, the Kermit the Frog, all these people will actually be able to see this, and when he tries to do it to somebody else, hey, that's the guy from that YouTube video that we all saw, and you ain't doing that to us, we're not stupid, to let you do this to us too, and yada yada. You know, it just
sorry.
It's something that it needs to be. The video needs to go viral, and it needs to take off and really out there.
Absolutely. I was just thinking what people like us can do, the general public can do, is take note of his screen name, and if you do see his screen name, you can report him on the PlayStation. And I think, he may not be doing anything at that moment in time, but he did do something in the past, and he did do something to a person that was, cruel and just cruel. So, I'm going to say, if you see him out there, I'm putting it out to you guys. If you do see him out there, report him. Just report him. For any
I don't know
anything.
if you guys I don't know if you guys had a chance to see where the video is originally posted, but in addition to him having this done to him, where the video is posted, I guess it's the mom's YouTube account. You should the vicious comments, man. They're just absolutely just downright vicious. They're uncalled for. They're attacks. They're calling this kid every name in the book. just because, you know, they're like, their excuse for their behavior is that, oh, this is what cheaters deserve. You know, so they're calling him everything from, you know, I don't even want to get into it, but they're calling him things that you shouldn't even be calling people to begin with. And when I started reading some of the comments, that made me just about as mad as what happened to his characters getting deleted, because here's this mother trying to put this out there to say, hey, be careful, this could happen to your kid. And then these people are logging on to this YouTube video and just posted some of the nastiest things you can read about an 11-year-old. You know, we're adults. We're supposed to protect children, not victimize, even already been victimized.
And unfortunately, the way that he was broadcasting his channel or his stream, it was through Twitch, but he was using an Elgato, and you can't hear the other side of the conversation, unfortunately. So we don't know if this Kermit the Frog is another kid or a teenager or an adult. So we don't know. I mean, if it's an adult, then damn, shame on you, man. Just
do we have the video that we can actually post to the chat? Some of the people have been asking for the video so they can.
I apologize. I had the video. It's on YouTube, but I don't have it anymore.
I'm trying to find it.
I'll find it.
We'll post it up there throughout the night. Once we get it up.
Oh, Pandora's got it.
Would you post it? Thank you so much. So, all right. So, yeah. All right. So next up, next segment we have is Titch's Tips, and so what do you have for us today?
I have some tips and suggestions and strategies as to how to get to the hidden lots in Sims 4. So there are 3 hidden unlockable lots, one in each world in the Sims 4 and one in Outdoor Retreat. So 2 in Sims 4 base game and 1 in Outdoor Retreat. To unlock and enter these lots, you will need to complete specific actions. And once inside, your sim will have the access to rare and unique collectibles. Also, unlocking will allow your current household that the sim belongs to always have regular access to these lots. The first one is Sylvan Glades in Willow Creek. To access this lot, you will need to visit Crick Cabana. It's a residence, but it actually sits next to a public space. On this public space is called the Sylvan Tree. This tree is unlike any other tree, and you will notice it right away. It has lots of little decorations along the bottom. I'm sure Sid is showing my images.
I hope so.
And so take a look at the tree in that image, and you find this tree on the public lot next to Crick Cabana. When you click on the tree, you'll have the option to view it. You view the tree a couple of times, you water the tree about 3 times, and you have to discuss with the tree nature and chat about the tree's roots. Then a secret door will unlock in no time. Once the secret opening appears on the tree, your sim will have the option to explore it. This will prompt an adventure, like choose your own adventure text on the screen. And as long as you select the right answers, you'll unlock the hidden lot. So, I want to take note, breaking open one of the 2 caves in Sims 4 base game will not automatically make the other accessible. You have to go through the different things. So to unlock Sylvan Glades, you select the following: follow the sound, follow downstream, and then enter the mist. And then you will enter Sylvan Glades. Once you're in there, you'll be able to find several different collectibles. There is a tree fish that you will fish for that is an area exclusive. You'll only get it in Sylvan Glades. And then there's a cherry tree, a pear tree, snapdragons, lilies, bluebells, strawberries, mushrooms, basil, several different mineral deposits, fish, and frogs. The next place is Forgotten Grotto, and that's in Oasis Springs. Forgotten Grotto is accessed through either the Desert Bloom Park or the Afluista Mansion. That's the land grab mansion. Find the abandoned mine cave on the public lot. Even though the cave is on the public lot, your sim must have a level 10 in handiness skill in order to break open the barriers of the hidden mine. So when you make it to either of the two lots, have your level 10 handiness skill sim look for the abandoned mine cave and break it open. Once the cave is open, your sim will have the option to explore it. And this will prompt the adventure-like text again. It'll be like a hidden or choose your own adventure again. To unlock the grotto, you select the following. You take the wide path, you climb down the ladder, and you step onto the ledge. Once inside, you have more things that are collectibles, just that are exclusive to that area. The batfish is exclusive to the area. Then you'll have mushrooms, onions, sage, lily, potato, minerals, fish, and frogs. The frogs you can breed into new frogs, and the fish you can use to create different potions and such. You also get the different plants you can plant on your lot and create more plants. Next, the last hidden lot is the Hermit's Lot in Granite Falls in Outdoor Retreat. I took Titchery to this lot, and she was focused on finding a secret entrance in the secret neighborhood where a hermit can be found. You actually have a bramble bush that only comes with one interaction, and that is to explore it. Select that interaction and prepare again for your choose your own adventure. If your sim has a herbalism skill level 7, their inventory has the following: 2 toxic chamomiles, 3 fire leaves, and a stink bug, you can actually create a herbal remedy called natural herbicide oil, which will greatly shorten your bramble exploration. That's a hard thing to say. Bramble exploration. To unlock the Hermit's Lot, step forward or go through the web. It'll depend on what your adventure actually randomly spawns. Keep walking. You'll sally forth and travel towards the sim. That's the hermit. And finally, select OK. When you meet the hermit's neighborhood is really huge with lots of waterfalls, a big garden, and a home. Now, your hermit will be either male or female, and it's a random choice that the game makes. Hermits are really wise, and they can teach you some valuable tricks about herbalism, so building a friendship with a hermit is highly recommended. Titchery had a great time with the Hermit's Lot and spent a day or 2 there. She gathered plants and learned the herbalism skill, and she hung out with the hermit at the campfire, and they roasted marshmallows. So they had a good time. The next thing I want to talk to you about is getting your own cow plant. That's right. Cow plants are returning in The Sims 4, and I'm going to tell you how to get one. By the way, you can have several different cow plants. You're not limited to just one on your lot. To grow a cow plant in your Sims 4 garden, there are several steps. First step, you can find a cow plant berry while either A, fishing in Oasis Springs, Desert Bloom Park's watering hole, or in the waters of the Forgotten Grotto. Remember, it could take a few seconds to get the berry while fishing, or it could take all night. But you will certainly get one at the Oasis Springs Park. B, you can find one by exploring space with a rocket that your sim builds. Or C, digging for treasures and can be harvested by grafting a specific plant's types of cuttings with another. Couple of different plants, a daisy and a strawberry will give you a dragon fruit, after which a snapdragon and a dragon being grafted together will give you a cow plant berry. I've not been able to get this to work, and I'm hoping that they fixed it in some of the patches. Step 2 is next, plant the cowberry plant from your inventory into your garden by dragging it onto a plot of land and then planting it and watering it. You can put the cowberry in a planter that is a square, not the round planter. There's not enough space in the round planter, so you'll need the square one. The cow plant must be fed every 12 hours. When it gets hungry, it will pop out its tongue with a slice of cake, enticingly dangling it from the end of its tongue. Unfortunately, the cake is a trap, and should your sim decide to eat it, the cow plant will eat your sim instead.
The cake is a lie. The cake is a lie.
Don't hop over my joke, Sid.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In this version of The Sims, having the cow plant eat your sim will not immediately kill them. About half the time, the cow will chew for a moment and then spit you out. The sim will then end up with the drained moodlet for 2 days. Your sim will then be able to milk the cow plant and drink their own essence in a weird twist of events. But this is The Sims, and stuff like this happens all the time. Or they could drink the essence of their neighbors if they've been eaten by the cow plant. It all depends on who couldn't resist the cake. Whether the cow plant spits out the sim and they survive, or the sim dies as a result of being swallowed alive, the cow plant will end up with a full bladder. Or full udder, sorry, not bladder, udder.
Oh.
That could be a whole different milking experience. Milking the udder will give you a glass of something for whoever is left behind. Haslin is dying now. How many people in the chat are dying? The result of the essence will give the sim drinking it the mood effect of the sim that got chewed on and spat out. The mood effect will last for 12 hours. It can be inspiration, it can be happy, it can be lots of different emotions. The resulting drink will be the essence of life if your sim was killed, which will give back the sim that drinks it a few days of life. So,
pleasure too, I'm sure.
If the cow plant is not fed for another 12 hours after the tongue cake appears, the cow plant will die, leaving you with a rather nifty yet tragic skeleton with which to decorate the front yard and creep out visitors. So I hope you have as much fun with the cow plant as Buster and I did. Just remember, when you have a cow plant, the cake is a lie. See, there's where my joke was. These tips will be added to our website, so you can go over them later. I know I kind of go through them fast, and we want to make them available to you. So I will be uploading them to our website at stixbroadcasting.com. Next week, I'll be talking about the various achievements to do in the Sims 4 and Outdoor Retreat. Until then, happy simming. If you have any questions you'd like me to answer on the air, or would like me to email you answers, either come to my stream on weekdays, or you can send me an email at titchery@stixbroadcasting.com. Thanks, guys.
Does this cow plant milk taste good to you?
No.
Because you milked the wrong udder, damn it.
You milked the bladder, not the udder.
Well, thank you so much for that, Tish.
Get the bladder
I'm
milk.
sorry, I didn't mean to step all over your joke there.
okay.
I apologize.
You should have known I was going to have.
Well, you should have known I can't help
You should
myself.
have known that I was going to have the cake is a lie.
Well, cake is always a lie.
The cake is always a lie.
Oh my gosh. What's going on here? A problem with the call? Okay. Well, I'm going to have this black bar in front of my face. That's okay. Next up, we got what's new in indie news here.
Indie news. We got a few games that are coming out that are some of them are really good. Some of them are actually out on other platforms, but there's one of them that's I know you watched the trailer earlier, but I don't know what to think of it. I watched the trailer and I was dying laughing. I just, who in their right mind would dress up like that?
That's not your mom, baby. That's a man, baby.
Yeah, this first one's called Kitty Powers Matchmaking, and it's you can find it on Steam. It's getting greenlit on Steam, I believe, or it already is. And I don't know if you want to pull that trailer up.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Hello, kittens. I'm Kitty Powers.
Hold on. Oh my gosh. I am not on the ball today. What is going on?
Well,
here?
you had to work on a day that should have been your day off.
Okay, here we go.
Ooh, hello, kittens. I'm Kitty Powers,
the hell?
matchmaker extraordinaire. As we all know.
I'm sorry, guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me redo this because nothing is the way I left it. And we will start this one more time.
Hello?
Hello, kittens. I'm Kitty Powers, matchmaker extraordinaire. As we all know, the path to true love is long and hard, which is why I created my new dating simulator, Kitty Powers Matchmaker. Kitty Powers Matchmaker. Start your love story soon on Steam.
Okay, yeah, that's not a man. Or that's not a woman. That's a man, baby.
Come on, it looks kind of funny.
It does look funny.
It looks hilarious.
It does. It looks very funny.
A little creepy, but
A little creepy is definitely right.
So that's Kitty Powers Matchmaker, right?
Yes. It comes out in April on Steam. It's already greenlit, so they're just waiting to release it, I guess, on Steam, which will be April 2015. There's no real release date on it yet. I know Brazik's posted the link in chat if you
Yes,
guys
she
want to
did.
check that out.
I'm checking it out.
The
That looks interesting.
next game on the list is a game that I know myself I'm gonna enjoy, and I know Pandora said he's willing to play it too. And if you have an iOS phone, it's actually you can get it right now on the iOS phone, but it's gonna be released on PC, and it's called Oceanhorn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Game looks a lot like a Zelda type of game. It looks really good.
Cool. Let's take a look at the trailer now. And I hit play. Play. What is going on?
What is going on?
Why? Okay. I hit play. Oh my gosh, people.
To unravel the mystery of Oceanhorn, you must find out what happened to the sacred emblems. This is the only way to get to Oceanhorn and find out what happened to your father. There is nothing you can do. I am its master now.
I wish I was able to travel the world like you. There are so many places I would love to see. The deserts of Pirta, the mysterious Gilfolk's Drop, beaches of Southwind Isle. But please come to see me every time you visit Tikoro. Okay?
Cool. That one looks cool. I like that one.
Yeah,
it does look
Yeah,
good.
very,
it has,
very Zelda.
yeah, it has the whole puzzles and the way that the world is, top-down isometrical view. Just a little bit more elements different than Zelda, but that's...
Well, even down to the music is very Zelda-ish, and I like that. I mean, looked like a cross between like the new gen Zelda with a little bit of splash of the Wind Waker.
Yeah, they did a good job with it. Again, it won Best Indie Game of the Year on Best iOS Game of the Year in 2013. So, I can't wait for that game on PC to see how well it is.
And again, that's Oceanhorn, Monster of Uncharted Seas, and that's going to be available on March 17th, so next month. Oh.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Looks like we lost Pandora. He'll be back.
This next game, The Swindle, it's available on the PlayStation Marketplace. It's a steampunk cyber crime caper. We break in and hack the systems, steal cash, and get out. It's a break in and enters type of thing, but it's very cyberpunk-ish. And the trailer was published on the 12th of February 2015, so I believe it's available now, I believe.
Well, we might having some problems here. What the? Oh, why don't call me? Okay, so, well, we are in different spots now. Yeah, so let me. This is why I don't like Skype. Because when people come back in, it rearranges my windows. So let me remove those. So give me 1 second, guys, and I'm going to re-screen capture everything here. No worries. Why don't you go ahead and talk about, I believe, the next one.
Yeah, the next one's called Elsword, and it's kind of like a side-scrolling, isometrical slash. There's a bunch of different. It's a fighting game. You can download it and play for free. You can register and play for free now on their website, which I'll be posting in the chat. Looks pretty good. I love the art style. It has that manga, type of artsy, very flashy, very colorful.
I think I've played this one before. I think that, yeah, this one's available on Steam. It's a pretty cool game. And, okay, so we got us back here. Let me... Oh, what happened? Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, Sid. Do what you need to do.
Need to have my windows in front of me instead of disappearing on me. There we go. So let me get the trailer up for this. And again, this is Elsword. And it's loading. So yeah, I apologize again. So I'm running a lot of stuff in my backgrounds here. Oh my god.
I need to get you that scream.
Yeah, that's Elsword. I have played that one before. It's available on Steam. It's a pretty cool side scroller hack and slash game, and it's also co-op.
RPG action adventure as well.
Yeah. So again, that's Elsword. The next one, it's not Grav. Next one is Besiege. Now, I started playing this one. This one's a pretty cool game, and it's a very simple game. You basically are it's medieval times, and the object of the game is to build medieval contraptions to destroy the enemy, and they give you all the time in the world to build your contraption, and it's a game of physics basically. So it's a physics-based game, and let me show you the trailer here. So yeah, that's Besiege. Besiege is it's pretty cool. Again, you're just making one contraption, but you can tear it down, rebuild it as much as you want, and just it's basically just very 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 creative, and it's just like a build your own weaponry thing. So. Okay, and the last one we have? Kaz?
I'm sorry. he was in La La Land.
No, actually, I had my mic muted because the dog was barking. So.
Oh. Well, the puppy wants to be on the show too.
Yeah, he likes to be everywhere. Next one is called Edge of Eternity. Now, we talked about this 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about that they were starting the Kickstarter, on the 15th, which was last weekend. They were releasing a demo to be played. You could download the demo, so they showed you basically what was going into what the type of game was going to be, and I played about 2 hours of it so far, and there's not really much you could do. You just walk around the world. They have some areas locked, and you unlock it by doing a couple of quests here and there. But it's very Final Fantasy-esque type of fighting style if you pick that fighting style. They also have a Grandia fighting style, so if you want to play like it would be a Grandia type of fighting, that's in there as well. And just the overall art, they actually just hired a new a guy to do all the music, and he's known for doing Final Fantasy music as well as Chrono Trigger music. So he has a long list of musical background from a lot of these JRPG games, and I think the game is going to be amazing. I'm a huge JRPG fan, and I think it's going to be a really good game.
It looks like a beautiful game, and it does. So, give me a second here, and I will get this set up. Oh, actually, I do have it set up. Never mind.
There we go.
Edge of Eternity.
Want to ride a kitty cat?
I knew you were going to say that, too. I knew that's exactly what you were going to say, because I was thinking that, too. Titch wants to play this because you can ride a kitty cat.
I want to ride a kitty cat.
And it's funny, because you actually, one of the things you do in the demos, you actually have to save the breeders of the Kit Kats. The kitty cats. I forgot what they're called. They're called something, and they want you to kill these lake snakes. You're still gonna go around killing 10 lake snakes to save, so they don't eat the kitty cat things that you ride. So, again, if you guys want to check that out, I know Brazik's put a link in chat. Do yourself a favor and download. If you're a JRPG fan, go download the demo and see for yourself, because I think it's going to be one of those games that's going to be a sleeper game that it's just going to blow up because the people that make the game is putting so much heart and soul into it. And as far as the rest of indie games, we do have I posted the new series that we started here last week. I talked about it a little bit last week, but the video is actually up now. It's on our YouTube channel. It's going to be a weekly series that I'm going to do every week. I'm going to put new picks every week, and I'll see if I can get somebody else to help out as well with doing voiceovers and stuff like that with their picks. But I just want to thank everybody here, in chat and guys that support us. We're going to be doing a lot of other little things here and there. I know Titch, Sid was actually asking Titch today if she'll do some voiceovers for her Titch's tips, for her own YouTube section. And Pandora, I know, was thinking about doing something else as well. Sid, same thing. So we have a lot of big plans for the group and the Styx Broadcasting. So we would really enjoy it if you guys can head over to StyxBroadcasting.com, and just the more you guys head over there, the more our name gets out there for traffic-wise, and we're trying to do a whole bunch of new things here. I'm in talks with a whole bunch of indie developers who some of them will be on the show in a couple of weeks. And I'm not going to reveal what they said they're going to do. So,
yeah, I can't wait for that.
It's going to be really interesting, and when you guys get to actually see some of these guys as special guests on the show. We're working really hard and doing everything we can to make our show better than a lot of the other ones out there that we have. Little things here and there where you guys, like a video that we have or we put up, or you retweet us on Twitter or repost us on Facebook, really helps us. It goes a long way, and we want to just thank everybody for it.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. So yeah, again, either go to our website at www.styxbroadcasting.com, and you can access all of our information there, and keep everything up to date. We all are trying to keep the website. This is it's my first time doing anything like this, to this extent, and like this before, so I'm definitely trying to keep up with updates on the website and such. I'm trying to keep basically an archive of our show for you guys as well too. So right. Again, thank you guys. So we will try to get updates on that as fast as possible. I don't know if I'm going to be. I'll be doing some reviews here and there, some like I did with Dying Light. I know I'm going to be doing the Order 1886. I'll be doing a review of that, but I'm not going to do a whole bunch because this does take up a lot of time.
Yeah,
so I'm going to find some time to do it. So
yeah, and that's another thing we all were trying to do as well. I mean, I have Monstrum that I still have to do a review on, regardless of pre-alpha build. It's a pre-release build, but I'll tell you what, if you guys have a chance to go head on over to Steam and check out Monstrum. If you guys have an extra $15 or so, pick that game up. I mean, you'll do yourself a favor because the game is amazing. And another, I got to do reviews on that, so I'm busy.
We're all busy. Yep. We're extremely busy. Diablo 3 fans, the next patch brings new legendaries, goblins, and bounties. So the next patch, 2.2.0 update remains in the works, but will be arriving very, very soon on public test regions for players to try out. 3 new 6-piece sets: Unhallowed Essence, Wrath of the Wastes, and Delcere's Magnum Opus. All are going to be all introduced. And seven existing sets are also being updated with new bonuses as well. For players more interested in legendary items, 15 new legendary powers are being added to a combination of existing items and new legendary items, including armor, rings, and gems. Blizzard's preview includes a look at 2 such powers, including one that causes an avalanche when you use the Barbarian's Ground Stomp skill. The other increases the damage done by the Demon Hunter's Rain of Vengeance. That sounds pretty cool. Nephilim and Greater Rifts are getting new layouts, which should help to avoid the experience of running through those form becoming too familiar. New rifts include those based on Acts 1 Festering Woods, Act 2's Stinging Woods, and Act 3's Field of Slaughter. These map layouts will be randomized, further mixing up the experience of completing the rifts. Adventure mode is the recipient of more than 20 new bounties spread across Acts 2, 4, and 5. All acts will be receiving a new type of bounty, exploration, that essentially boils down to exploring an area to find NPCs who need assistance or enemies who need to be slain. Throughout the game, you'll also be able to encounter 3 new types of treasure goblins. One that splits into smaller goblins, the disgusting sound of Gelatinous Sire. One that has allies to protect it, the Insufferable Miscreant. And one that sounds as if it drops lots of gold, the Gilded Baron. Lastly, aside from a change in the format used from the Gamers files, something that will only impact PC and Mac versions, Blizzard is adding cosmetic windows. This will allow you to take cosmetic only items with you into the field without having to take up room in your inventory. Yay! Some other small unspecific changes will also be coming as part of 2.2.0. Release date for the final version on PC, Mac, Xbox One, or PS4 has not yet been announced. In other news, Star Citizen's incredibly deep mining system is now explained. The upcoming space simulator Star Citizen has explained how its mining occupation will work in the game, and it sounds incredibly involved. Mining presents players with a variety of challenges requiring skill and intelligence, whereas mindless repetition of a task and idle drudgery are explicitly avoided. The director of Star Citizen Persistent Universe said, "There are no aspects of mining that allow a player to simply press a button and wait without concern for a result, or that requires players to perform an action repeatedly without some element of thought and or dexterity coming into play. The most valuable materials in the game will often reside in dense asteroid fields, so pilots will have to avoid compressed pockets of gas." Excuse me while I smack my microphone with my face.
Ouch.
Ouch. But if you're carrying valuable cargo, you can be an easy target for other players who want to steal your stuff. You can work as a freelance miner, finding and selling materials as you please to best take advantage of the market, or on contract, agreeing to retrieve certain materials for a set fee. The mining operation itself is also divided into multiple roles, which either other players or hired NPCs can fill. There's the self-explanatory position of the pilot. I will explain. He pilots the ship.
Self-explanatory.
The scan operator in charge.
How's that go?
He punches buttons and the ship moves forward.
I see.
In theory.
Oh, in theory.
The scan operator in charge of launching probes that finds materials, a beam operator in charge of extracting the materials, and a cargo operator who crushes the materials and stores them. More work? Okay. Oh, okay. Ships that have ships that have their own refineries will also need a refinery operator. You can read all this and more about Star Citizen's mining occupation in greater details on the game's website.
They directly attacked EVE Online in that whole...
Yes.
Which is kind of weird because, yes, EVE Online is, you just basically hit a button and mine over and over again. But that's not all the dangers there are. I mean, you got pirates that are always coming in and shooting at you, not to mention other players. So they directly attacked somebody that has no defense. I just, I love Star Citizen. Yeah, I like all of the Roberts. I think he's gonna do an amazing job with it, and
Yeah.
he's not wasting money making a one-to-one scale of a ship that is made by, funded by the backers of the game instead of putting that money into the game. Like, Elite Dangerous. Who said
You okay, Cassie? You're rubbing your eyes there, and you're kind of you're all right.
Yeah,
all right?
that just drives me insane.
I'm just concerned
you
about
get backers paying, to make a game, and you decide to make something like a one-to-one scale of a MK3 Scorpio. I don't know even what the ship was, but it was a full-scale ship that they have in the game, and they used the money that the people backed on Kickstarter. That just doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah, I don't think it sits well with anybody. So, all right. So, indie pick of the week. How'd you want to go about doing this, man?
Everybody has their own pick.
Okay, well, my pick. I'll just go first. I'll tie in my Sid's corner with the indie pick of the week, so we can kind of move along here. So my pick of the week is Grav. It's an action survival game called Grav, and it's kind of your typical survival game where you gather your materials and you build your stuff. But there is something about this game that's just very addicting, and I've been playing it with a couple of friends of mine, and we've been building some stuff, and I actually have a trailer for you guys. So give me 1 second here.
Trailer.
That is Grav. Yeah, there we go. That is Grav. So it's a pretty fun game. A lot of dancing.
A lot. I saw that.
A lot of dancing and more dancing.
I noticed that you were even dancing with the trailer.
Well, that's why they can't see me dancing. So yeah, I was busting a move.
I know you played it for a little bit. I mean, I love survival games like that, so It really intrigues me. I just want to see. I wonder if there's a lot of variety when it comes to monsters.
And it's very. I haven't seen a lot of variety yet because I'm not very high in level yet. So it's still in. I think it's still in kind of the beta works and like that. But it is an early access game. You can find it on Steam. It's that colorful. It is. It's a very, very colorful game. Building bases is not that easy.
It never is. I love to make it look easy.
I've actually, it takes a lot of resources to build a base, and mine doesn't look half as impressive as that. But you do find blueprints and stuff. Like the more things you kill, the more blueprints actually drop, and the more things you can build. So you kind of progress that way. So
I want that.
That's my pick of the week.
I think Kaz just wants to see you dance. That's what he wants to see.
No, I want the General Grievous bike. The General Grievous bike is pretty badass.
There is one little factor that I don't like about it, because everything that requires energy requires fuel, and the fuel, I think they need to rebalance it out, because in order to drive that little bike, it takes 40 pieces of wood per minute.
Wow.
Damn.
So, yeah, I think they need to balance that out just a little bit more. So, but I mean, it's a pretty fun game. So that's mine.
I don't have one, so.
Okay, that's okay.
I don't play enough indie games, you guys.
Play too much Sims.
I know, I play Sims. I've been playing Diablo 2. So,
okay.
I mean, Diablo as well.
As well?
Diablo 3 as well, yes.
Cass?
My indie pick is... I gotta say, it's gotta be The Long Dock. The game just sucks me in more and more every time I play it. And... it's not like there's a lot of monsters that you're gonna worry about. It's basically wolves, and now they added bears and stuff like that in there now with the new area that they got. But the graphics, the immersion that you get when you're in that game, because not only are you gonna worry about building fires and getting cans of food to survive and wood, you're also going to worry about the weather, because you don't have any heat source, you're going to freeze to death. So the colder it gets, the colder you're getting, and you're going to make sure you sit by a fire or some way to heat up. And the whole, cotton, they have these little huts on the middle of the pond, and they have little fishing holes that you gotta cut out and dig out back out, and you can fish there to get food. So, it's one of those survival games. It's not a survival horror game. It doesn't have any zombies in it. I have all those type of games, and I absolutely love The Long Dock. I thought it was absolutely incredible the way that they did it. And I was torn a few weeks ago. I know you guys heard me. I was either going to get Long Dock or I was going to get Stranded Deep, because they're totally, they're the same type of genre, but one is on
right.
You're deserted on an island, the other one is you're deserted in the woods of Canada. So
both with the same type of elements where there's no real enemies other than nature itself.
And
I mean, there's animals. I think like in the Stranded Deep. Yeah, Stranded Deep, there's like sharks and stuff that you got to watch out for and stuff like that. So I've seen. I'm kind of teetering between the two, because I like the survival games too.
Yeah,
and I like the survival games that it's just you can either do co-op or single player. Now Grav is on the it's kind of on the fence between PvP and co-op. So you can either make friends or make enemies on it too.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I own Rust, I own Nether, I own 7 Days to Die. The only ones I really haven't bought was H1Z1 yet, because it's gonna be free anyway, so I'm not gonna spend the $20 on it. And DayZ, because I just don't like DayZ. But not saying it's not a good game. I'm just not attracted to it. I like 7 Days to Die because of it has the Minecraft element, but it also has, the longer you go on, the hotter it gets, because you're at day 52, and then you got about 600 zombies trying to knock down your walls to try to get to you. So it's not an easy game at all. And the fact that you can go on with other people, make your own servers, so I like that aspect. And again, the long dock it's coming along greatly. They're doing really well with it. The developers are doing, taking their time releasing patches when they're out. And they not really too many bug fixes because they don't really have that many in the game that I've noticed so far. So, if you guys get a chance, again, that's another game. If you like survival games, that's a game. It's worth the $15-20 that it's on Steam for.
Cool. Pandora, what's your indie pick?
I mentioned it up at the beginning of the show. I'm going to say Teslagrad, man. It's
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's a really, really fun game, and I've been in touch with the developers of this game as well, and been talking with them about it. And basically, what this is it's developed and published by Rain Games, which is a Norwegian developer. It's a 2D side-scrolling platform game. What you do is you're using the elements of magnetism and electromagnetic powers throughout the game to discover secrets that have been kept abandoned in the Tesla Tower. So you're kind of weaving your way through these puzzles and just trying to figure out everything. And in the meantime, it's what's really one of the things I really enjoyed about the game is it's for one thing, you have to think, and for another, it's artsy, man. I love the fact that this is hand drawn, so it looks like you're playing an animated show, like a cartoon. And what you do is you play as this young boy who finds himself embroiled in a long forgotten conspiracy. So you got a conspiracy thing involving this king who's ruled the nation. And he's just vicious for several years. And so you're just kind of weaving your way through and collecting a few powered items to help you get through the puzzles and things like, you get a gauntlet that helps you electrify some of the boxes that you need to change in color. You got, where you're dealing with positive and negatives of magnets. And it's a really cool game, man. I'm absolutely loving it. And like I said, when I get done, I'm actually going to try to do a review on that. So,
I actually have a trailer for it. If you want me to show it,
sure, that'd be awesome.
Sure, 1 second, guys.
Okay.
That looks cool. I like that. I'm a big fan of side scrollers. Anyways, I mean the retro style too. I think that's not very retro style, but it is a side scroller. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Do you know what? Is it released or is it available?
Yeah, it was actually released in 2013 on Steam, but it's starting to gain some popularity, which is awesome. So I'm really glad that I kind of stumbled upon this game. But it's now available on the Wii U. It's available with the PlayStation Store for the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4. It's also, of course, like I said, it's on OS as well. So, like I said, it came out in 2013, and it's been releasing throughout 2014 on different platforms. So, there's also talk of it being released for the PlayStation Vita, but
cool.
I haven't really got a date from them on that yet. So.
Cool. Well, we are going to take a little bit of a break, and we're going to get things back and started here. But we're going to show you some of the new game releases released. We didn't get to show the future ones, then, so we'll show the new ones, the new releases for now. Okay, so we'll be back in just a few minutes, guys.
Are you ready? No, I said, are you ready?
Okay, we're... And we're back. Thank you so much for waiting for us. We're back. We're back. We're back.
We're back.
Welcome back, guys. Did you guys have a nice break?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been so long since we talked to each other.
I know.
It's been a whole
45 seconds?
10 minutes. 10 minutes. 5-10 minutes. Blueson, yeah, I finished the game. I did finish the order.
I think she can see your reaction on the past broadcast, can't she?
Yeah, you can. I just remember that I did broadcast.
Yeah, you did. All of it.
I beat the game in one sitting. So. Alright. So, while I choke on nothing.
Look at this cute kitty.
Uh-oh. There's our mascot. Or a mascot.
One of our mascots.
Gingy. Thank you guys for holding again. So up next we got Pandora with Pandora's Box.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, last week we were talking about DLC and when it's appropriate, when it's not, when it's acceptable, and when it's not. And in particular, we were addressing the way that Evolve was handling the situation. So last week I was for the way they handled their cosmetic DLC, and I addressed that separately because I felt that that's a fair way of offering DLC to gamers and consumers. But what I feel is not acceptable is when elements of a game is taken from the game that should have been included in the game and then repackaged and offered as bonus content in the form of DLC. Now this is an issue that is completely different from cosmetic. This seems to be a trend that's happening more and more. DOA is the most recent game to be released that has multiple packages of DLC. There's the core pack, which is the 5 characters. I believe you get 5 characters in the game for free, and then you can buy the pack for I think it's $39.99 or $40 or whatever it is, and then of course you get a bundle of characters, and then there's additional characters that you can purchase separately. All, of course, with different prices and different bundles, which basically translates to me that these characters had to have been designed. They had to have been ready for the game to be able to be available on day one with the release of the game. This is different than releasing additional content 6 months down the road or even 3 months down the road where they're actually creating original content. And I think that a lot of gamers get a little misinformed sometimes about what's actually been stripped from games and what's actually being developed for games. But what I'm trying to address more importantly is stripping of games, stripping of content from games and offering it as DLC. DOA seems to be doing it. Evolve seems to have done it somewhat. And there are other games as well. But it's a topic that I think everybody has probably got a little bit of opinion about, because it does seem to anger the community when you find out that these characters were removed from the game, or certain items were removed from games, and then resold to you in the form of a DLC. And it's a trend that seems to be growing in popularity with publishers. I'm not so sure that this is a developer thing, but it most certainly is a publisher thing. I understand they're trying to make their money. I understand that trying to keep the games at $60 is a thing that they're trying to do, and this is their way of trying to keep it at that level. But at the same time, you don't want to milk people to death either. And I feel that this is just an unnecessary thing to do when you're stripping content from a game. I don't think that's a practice that should be utilized in publishing. Keeping our interest and offering us fresh new content might be a good concept for these guys to do, but to take away from a game and just take it out of the game because it's already developed and put it in a nice little package and say, okay, well, you paid $60 for that, but to get the full game on day one, you have to pay the $60 for that. Oh, and we have this, $24.95 DLC where you can get these bonus characters and these bonus missions, and I have a real issue with that. I just think that's bad practice, and I think it's bad for us as consumers. And I know you guys have comments on this because we've talked about this not only throughout the week, but we've been talking about this since we've known each other. So, there it is. I mean, I'm going to put it out on the floor for you guys in the chat room. But that's the issue that I wanted to bring up today.
Okay. Well, give me 1 second. I need to switch over to and just turn off my stupid camera here because I lost my camera. So this needs to be removed, and hopefully I'll be able to come back. Come on. There we go. Now, if I can just get visual, there we are. We're back. Okay, yeah. So, it's. I think the DLC content is getting way out of hand. DLC is not exactly DLC anymore. It's more pay for the rest of the game. So, yeah.
It's more like they're doing it as the DLC is being taken out and added as if it were like an expansion pack or a game pack for like My Sims. My Sims had certain things that were removed because of developmental issues with the new Sims, interface and such. So instead of, issuing broken stuff, they waited until they were able to fix it and then gave it to us for free. They're not doing that with these other games, though. They are taking things out that are perfectly functional. They just decided, we're going to make some more money on that. That's not fair.
No, it's not fair to anyone. It's not. It's even for the people who buy it. It's not fair to them, and it's definitely not fair for those games who start doing like pay to win things. There's a lot of games out there that you pay extra for souped up weaponry, souped up armor, something that gives you an edge in the game. It's definitely not cool for the people that can't afford that, don't want to buy that, or don't even choose to buy that, and it's just makes the game too unbalanced. And then it's interesting that everybody talks about how games need to be balanced. Oh, this needs to be nerfed because of this. This needs to be upgraded because of this. This needs to be nerfed because of this, because it makes the game unbalanced. DLC content that affects the game directly is an unbalanced game. Mm-hmm. And it is an imbalanced system. And it's just something that has gone from being download content that makes your character look cooler to download content that makes your character basically a god in the game. And that's just I do not agree with that.
I have an opinion where it's you have the lesser of two evils, okay? So you have one who you have to buy DLC to add on to your game, okay? Because developer has to make that extra money, okay? Or you have the other side of the coin where we all know in America we pay $60 for a game, where all these other countries they pay $70, $80 for this game. So that extra $20 could be, they could charge us the extra $20 and raise our games from $60 to $80, which they planned on doing for the last 5 years, 10 years now, but they haven't yet. So the cost of games have gone up to create. So that's why I said you have the lesser of two evils. It's either you're damned if you do, or damned if you don't. It's either gonna be, if you don't buy this DLC, then I'm gonna place an $80 price tag on these games now, and it's either you're gonna pay the $80 if you want the game now, or you could buy the game for $60 and buy the DLC for $10 extra for this one pack. I'm not saying that there isn't other ways to go around it, because there is. There is tons of other ways. Like we talked about last week, Pandora. They could easily cut their budget down. Instead of having 80 guys working on that one piece of asset that they have in this game, they could boost it down to 20 people or 30 people, and work on those assets. Instead of having a whole big team of 80 people just working in the art department, then another 80 guys working in the coding department, another 80 guys working in this. You have so many people that are working in this industry now that it costs them so much more to create these games. Right. You know as well as I do, I hate DLC just as much as everybody else. But like I said, I understand why they do it, and that's where you have to take that into. Might not have to like it, okay? And it's all up to the consumer. If you don't like something that they're doing, don't buy it. Because if you don't buy it, it sends a message to the companies saying, that's right, we're not paying for this crap anymore. We're not letting you do this to us anymore. But you have those people who go out there and buy it, and then they turn around and bitch about it, even though they're the ones who bought it.
Let me pose a question. Are these countries that are having to pay $10 to $20 more, are they getting all of the content, or are they paying $10 or $20 more and then having to get the download content too?
I think that it's the same way as for us, but that's because of they're taking it out of the game already, so they're not going to release two different versions of the game, one for Eastern European countries and another one for us, because that would cost them more money to make.
Right. That's what I thought. So they're also paying $10 more and having to get the download content. So it's really unfair.
Here's another little interesting thing that has really been left out of this discussion, not just with us today, but across the gaming industry. This is a factor that no one is addressing, and this is really just shocking to me. Digital download sales are up almost 50% across the board. Now, what does that mean? What that means is there are less and less hard physical disc copies being sold, printed, manufactured, labeled, covers made for, plastic containers being made to fit these games, saran wrapped, whatever you want to call it, shrink wrapped, whatever you want to call it, put on a pallet, shipped out, paying shipping costs, delivery costs. All of these costs are gone with digital download. So with a nearly 50% increase in that, and then hollering about the fact that we got to make every buck, every dime we can make, why are they not discussing the fact that there are more and more copies of the games being sold digitally than physical, and yet that's a big increase. So, I mean, if I had a choice of selling 1,000 physical copies at $60 and having to pay all of that cost to manufacture physical copies, naturally, I'm not going to have near the profit. But if I sell that same 1,000 copies of that game digitally, there is none of that cost. So my profit margins are way up. So I understand
you're skipping that middleman.
You're skipping everybody. So I understand that they're saying this, but I'm not buying it. That's what I'm getting at. I'm not buying it. When Steam is at an all-time high, when PlayStation Store is at an all-time high, when Xbox Live is at an all-time high, when the Wii U is at an all-time high for digital distribution, across the market, we're talking nearly a 50% increase from 2 years ago. That's a significant amount of profit being made that they didn't have 2 years ago, and it's not being factored into this equation. And so the more that grows, the less I'm buying their argument that they have to steal segments from video games to make that extra buck. I still think that as long as they're still selling more copies every year digitally, then maybe they don't have to cut their staff. Maybe they don't have to do those things because, as I was saying, you're cutting out a lot of middleman costs, a lot of factors. I mean, it takes a lot of money to physically manufacture a video game and ship it out to market.
Well,
it just costs a lot.
Not only just the actual materials of making the the parts of the game, like the box and such like that. Then you have to go in to think about. Well, think about it this way: when was the last time you actually saw a physical PC game disc?
Well,
right.
They're rare. They're very rare. You don't see a lot. So I mean, if they're virtually eliminated. The PC because of Steam and
right.
Origin and stuff like that. So think of it this way: if the video games start doing the same thing, which they are, you're not going to see these discs on the shelves anymore. They're slowly going to be phased out. Then once they're phased out, you're not going to have places like GameStop. Yes, GameStop is evil, but you're not going to have places like GameStop. You're not going to have places like Blockbuster that are still kind of around. You're not gonna have places like even the Redbox that does games. I think people are not going to use Redbox anymore because you can get them all digitally. Even the movies you can get them all digitally. So they're cutting out a lot of the retail service, and that's actually killing jobs. And people are complaining about not having jobs in America because there's digital is killing those jobs out.
Yeah, but I mean, you had a place like you just said, GameStop. Okay, GameStop's the biggest culprit of bad business for everybody, because when you walked into a GameStop 10 years ago, you saw shelves. I mean, shelf walls of PC games. Then they decided, we're gonna trim down our PC section. Because we're not selling enough PC games, so we want to move out of the PC game market and into the video game market. So they decide to compact their walls. So as they start selling less and less games, they start taking more of those games off the shelf. Okay, so a company like Steam, they picked up the business that GameStop dropped.
Right.
There's over 100 million active users on Steam alone. That brings it to the highest focal point. And again, this is Sega. Sega's a perfect example. They are strictly going with PC and phones. Basically, that's the two profitable things for Sega to do now, because of there's more people playing on PC than there are on consoles. Okay, and when you're saying that these consoles are going to end up being all digital, look at the outrage that just happened over when these consoles were coming out. Everything was going to be digitalized. GameStop was furious because they make 75% of their profit on used video games.
So,
if they take away that, GameStop's done. They're gone. There's nothing you can do about it. And again, maybe that's what needs to happen. But again, then you have all these other companies like Comcast and all your internet providers who put a limit on your bandwidth. So you can only download 30 gigabytes this month. So until we can overcome that, the digital download industry is not going to be as big as it should be.
I agree with that, yeah.
And here's a great example. Resident Evil Remastered Edition for the PC, came out on all the different consoles. It's a $20 game. But that was the highest grossing sale digital game that Capcom has ever sold.
Yep.
And I can look up the numbers to tell you that it's really phenomenally high. And the profit that they had to, and it's not like that they just had to just do a couple of things to remake the game, and put the game back out there. No, they had to completely change the textures. They had to do work with the quirkiness of the engine, for constant controllers and stuff, the new control schemes. So they did a lot of hard work. So they must have had, a good, maybe, I would say hundreds and hundreds of people working on it, but maybe a team of 50 people just working on it religiously. So they probably made that money tenfold just from with those 50 guys working on it, and the money they made digitally because they didn't have to pay those extra costs. But again, like I said, it's not that I agree with you guys totally, absolutely 100%. They have, but they, again, like I said, it's for them to make two different versions of the games. It's not going to be beneficial for them. So, yeah, we're paying $60 where, like, let's say Brazic, she's in the Netherlands, she might be paying $80 for it. So we're paying $60, she's paying $80. They're still getting the stuff stripped out on their end because they're not going to pay, like I said, they're not going to cut the game up in two different games, ship this one to this one, ship this to this country because that'll cost them more money than what they're going to make on the game. So for them to, and that's what I said, I understand the necessary evil of both sides of the story. Do I agree with the DLC? No. But then again, I'm not going to go out and buy it if I don't support that type of DLC. And that's all it is. We as consumers have to speak up and tell them, no, we're not doing this. And that's not what's happening.
Talk with your wallet. That's what I say.
Absolutely. All right. So, well, yeah, that's. Thank you for that.
That topic's pretty touchy.
It is touchy. Well, yeah, it is touchy. It involves like a slew of other discussions that we definitely can't get into tonight. But
no,
it raises more questions than answers. And, and there really is no. There's solutions, but no one to implement those.
It's like Brazix has a good question that she just brought up.
Yeah, I saw that.
G2A, and again, if they're not buying them actually illegally or selling illegal keys, what they're doing is smart business. And what they're doing is they're buying keys that are globally unlocked for all these other countries, but they might be buying them in Russia where they're $60 cheaper than what other countries are. So they're doing it legally, where a lot of these other companies, like Ubisoft, does not like what they're doing because they're not making that extra buck. So I gotta hand it to G2A what they're doing. I absolutely love it.
It's a form of scalping. Right. It's a very, very sneaky way of scalping. It's just like how the new Majora Mask 3DS limited editions were bought up. Before they even released, there was nothing to be sold as far as the collector's edition. But now you can go online and get it for twice, maybe 3 times the price. It's just another form of that, and there's not really any way to stop that.
No, because they've come into those copies legitimately. It's just they are taking it upon themselves to make a bigger profit than the company did.
So, in Xbox news, as we're going along, no way to transition through that.
We could spend hours and hours and hours talking about that.
Yeah, it's such a deep subject. It's such a deep subject, and there's so many layers and factors to take into consideration. You could make a 3-hour show just on that alone, just that one topic. So, moving along.
Xbox One is having their March updates. Earlier this month, they added a host of new features and improvements on the Xbox One starting the other day. Members of the Xbox One preview program will get to check out even more new features, some of which are planned for March system update. They're going to be adding screenshots. Yay. New in preview is a highly requested feature by their community from the Xbox feedback site. While playing a game, you can now take screenshots on your Xbox One console by simply double tapping the Xbox button on your controller to capture a screenshot and pressing Y to save the screenshot. You can also say Xbox take a screenshot to take a saved screenshot. The Upload app is being updated so that you can manage your screenshots in addition to your game clips. You can use a screenshot as your background by viewing the screenshots in the full menu mode and uploading the app from the Upload app and pressing the menu button and select Set as Background. Suggested friends. With the suggested friends feature, the friends area in the home and your friends list will help you find and add friends. Suggested friends will include people you might know, so you add more friends to game with, and top community broadcasters and clip creators, so you can get more great content in your activity feed. They're also adding a new suggested friends page to the friends area. Sharing your name. This month in preview, they're rolling out 2 new ways to share your real name. I'm not very comfortable sharing my real name on online. I don't know. It goes back to the old AOL days. So, you can share your friends with all your friends or to everyone in the Xbox Live community. You can also continue to share your real name with selected friends or with no one if that's what you prefer. Gamer tags will still be the primary method of identifying yourself on Xbox Live, but sharing your real name helps people recognize you who might not know you by your gamer tag. The new name sharing option can be found under Friends, My Profile, Name Sharing Settings. Tile transparency. We continue to listen to your feedback and are adding a setting to enable you to vary the level of transparency on the background of your tiles. Privacy and online safety settings. They've added new settings for sharing voice search data to create an option for you to allow collection and analysis of voice data when using Xbox. Bring to search, you can go to Settings, Privacy, Online Safety, Share Voice Search Data to change the settings. You can also report spam now. You can also have a one guide for Australia. Support for one guide will continue in preview in Australia for free-to-air TV settings. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but apparently it's in Australia. Xbox One digital TV tuner in Australia as well. So Australia's getting the TV tuner as well. The TV tuner, on the Xbox One. So these updates and more on the Xbox One website. Microsoft is also cutting ties with Darkside Game Studios. Darkside Game Studio has been working with Microsoft on the development of Phantom Dust, an action card-based strategy game. Recently, Microsoft announced that they have severed ties with the game studio and will no longer be working with them. This spells bad news for the future of Phantom Dust, as usually this means a game's cancellation or delay at least. Fret not, fans of the game. Microsoft has already announced that they will continue developing Phantom Dust despite Darkside Game Studio departure. There you go, Kevin. So
I'll let you finish the thing before I chime in.
No, that's okay. That does not mean that Phantom Dust development will continue unaffected, though. A new development team means a totally new direction and set of ideas. Fortunately, this game is a reboot of the previously released Phantom Dust and not a standalone title in the series. Microsoft refuses to comment on what exactly took place that caused the severance. Many media outlets have reached out to Darkside Game Studios for comment, but will most likely end in vain, as rumor claims that not only is Darkside Game Studios no longer working on Phantom Dust, but they have shut their doors entirely.
That's too bad.
There you have it. That is Xbox news.
That's... I like to... If they are going to just re-release the game, I'm a big fan of that because I think the game didn't get... it's been a long time since we had it. And I think if the game does really well, it's going to pick up steam and they will probably get somebody else to make a version 2 of the game. Because me, as a fan of Phantom Dust, I've been waiting for... God, I don't even know how many years. I don't even know if this on the back of here. Let's see. Yeah, I don't even know when it was released. But as you can see, I do have the game. Phantom Dust for Xbox.
Kind of froze there. Hold on.
Oh.
Your camera froze.
My camera froze.
I don't know why. Don't know if it's on my end or your end.
On my end.
There he goes.
But on mine...
There it is. There we go.
I have Phantom Dust, the game. It was released on the Xbox. It was a $20 game originally when it first came out. And it was the best $20 game I've ever bought in my life. I spent more hours on this damn game than I could even tell you. It was so addicting. The PvP was fun. The whole single player type of... it was amazing. So, like I said before to you guys off air, you know, if they release this game tomorrow, I'd be out buying a Xbox One tomorrow because I love it that much. But if they're gonna make a remake of it, as long as it's just like the original game, they didn't change too much of it, I'll be right up. I'll be buying it day one.
Awesome. Well, we will definitely be on the lookout for that game. It looks like an interesting game. I unfortunately never got to play the game, but I did hear a lot of a lot of good feedback from the games itself. So. Up next, we got Titch's Sim News.
Yeah, I have news.
Yeah.
The people who play Sims a lot and have been with the franchise from the beginning will know who Sim Guru Ryan Vaughn is. He's the lead and marketing producer of The Sims 4 and previous Sims games, and he has decided to leave the Sims studio. He wrote in a letter on the Sims community forum. Hey Simmers, I wanted to share some news with you. After 8 years, amazing 8 years, from The Sims 2 Castaway all the way through The Sims 4 Get to Work, the time has come for me to leave the Sims studio. This has been a deeply personal and challenging decision for me, but it's one that I believe is best for the future of my family. The commute between home and the studio is crazy long. When you're a young single game developer, it's something you can cope with. But when you have a young family, that 3-hour commute becomes pretty arduous, no matter how much you enjoy your work. Make no mistake, my love for the game, the people that make it, and you guys, the people who play it with such passion, is unwavering. Deciding to leave has been one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make. The memories that I've made over the 8 years working in the Sims studio are ones that I will cherish for the rest of my life. The first game in the franchise that he contributed to was The Sims 2 Castaway. The second one was The Sims 3 base game and all of the expansion and stuff packs, as well as the world producer on The Sims 3 Ambitions, and oversaw the creation of Twinbrook. Sim Guru Ryan went on to say, words cannot express what work the Sims studio for the last 8 years has meant to me, both personally and professionally. It has been truly awesome experience, and I couldn't be more excited for the future of the Sims 4 franchise. To get to work is just the beginning. There is no other studio like this, no other franchise game like The Sims, and no other fans like you. I can't stress enough how big of an impact your encouragement and criticism actually has on the development of this game. You guys might not realize it, but we simply couldn't do this without you. It's been a great pleasure creating this game with you for over the last 8 years, and can't wait to see where it will take in the future. So he says, dag Simmers, Sim Guru Ryan. And he has been the face of Sims 4. I'm sure you guys recognize his sim. If you keep up with the Sims at all, he is the face of the Sims. Some more exciting news. Genealogy has been re-added to the Sims, and it was a free update. So you can explore the lineage of your Sims, their names, faces, and relationships, and remember who they are to one another. Genealogy is now available, and you'll be able to look at your Sims family history, including brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, grandparents, and some great-greats and great-greats, and step relationships like stepfather, half relationships like half-brother, and of course, spouses. In order to update it, you'll need to open the Simology panel, not update it, but see it. You'll need to open the Simology panel, which is the little head on the menu at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. And 4 up and 5 down from the active sim. Yes, 5 plus 4 equals 10. You can track up to 10 generations with your sim genealogy. You can click on the other sims to view in the view to focus on their genealogy. So let's say you look at your father, you can actually focus on him and it'll show all of his genealogy back. So another thing is there have been also added various free content updates, several gnomes, a 15th anniversary gnome, a business gnome. There are gnomes in swimsuits because of the pool update, and ghost gnomes in the various emotional colors. So you can also put on Valentine clothing or just hang around with a gnome or a Valentine bear. Speaking of gnomes, Woohoo Weekend held February 13th through February 15th. I mentioned this last year or last week. It was a huge success. It turns out your Sims really do like to woohoo. Last week, the challenge was posted on the community, and they said that if you reached a combined 4 million woohoos in The Sims 4 over Valentine's Day weekend, all owners of The Sims 4 would be given a new gnome in a patch in March. And if they reached a mind-blowing 5 million woohoos, there would be 2 new hairstyles. Well, we did it. You can see on the screen 5,700,940 woohoos were actually added in the challenge. That breaks down to 5,273,110 kisses, and 147,430 sim babies were born. They'll release the gnome for free in a patch in March. And yes, that's a confirmation. They will have a patch in March. And that means that we'll be getting not only the new gnome, but the new hairstyles as well. So that'll be in March. Now, I'm kind of excited about this. I have a new trailer for The Sims 4 Get to Work. It's an actual gameplay trailer for the Doctor. And Sid, could you cue that up?
Why, certainly.
Thank you so much, sweetheart.
2 seconds here.
This is pretty exciting. Actual gameplay of the Doctor.
In the Sims 4 Get to Work expansion pack, for the first time ever, you control your Sims as they navigate the day-to-day ups and downs at their workplace. Let's take a deep look at the gameplay around one of our new active careers. The hospital is at the center of the Doctor career. Here, your Sims will examine patients, run tests, and perform daily tasks that will help your Sims earn their next promotion. With our new sickness system, Sims with symptoms of all stripes will fill the waiting room. Treating these Sims begins with reaching a proper diagnosis, and that starts with a thorough head-to-toe examination. As your Sim advances in the Doctor career, more options are unlocked, helping your Sim reach an accurate diagnosis. Once a patient is diagnosed, your Doctor can begin to treat them. As your Sims progress, Doctors are rewarded with new objects and unlock new interactions. They can now give medical advice, or bad medical advice. Doctors can unlock a new romance interaction, checking for fever. They can tell whether a pregnant Sim will have a girl or boy. And they can even make house calls for Sims who are too sick to go to the hospital. Yikes, it looks like this Sim is going into labor. This skilled doctor delivered another bundle of joy. In the Sims 4 Get to Work expansion pack, we're bringing Sims to life in an entirely new way. With new active careers and all new experiences. The Sims 4 Get to Work is available in April.
Well, that looks pretty cool.
I think it looks pretty neat, the way that they have the babies being delivered.
I am kind of concerned since the baby being delivered came from the side.
Well, it was a C-section or a sim section. It was a sim section.
Still, it's coming from the side.
Yeah, well, we haven't gotten into where babies come from with the Sims crowd yet.
Okay.
I mean, they don't come from socks anymore?
What?
No. In the Sims, they would come from flamingos or llamas if they went with that route.
Llamas. Yes, llamas. Llama Dama Ding Dong. Anyways, thank you so much for that. It does. No, honestly, it does look cool.
Really fun.
That looks like a lot of fun.
Being able to go to work with your Sim is great. That's what we've been waiting for.
That's going to be one huge patch.
I know, right? It's going to be a huge game patch. Well, like they were saying, look at how much content we got for just the game pack with Outdoor Retreat. We are going to get a huge amount of content with the expansion pack.
Well, I mean, it's great that Maxis and EA are backing the Sims up. They're doing a smart business move. Because, I don't know if anybody knows this, but actually, Sims is actually one of the highest selling franchises of all time.
Yes,
it's up there on I think it's number 3 or number 4 on the list, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So EA's doing a smart job by backing, something that makes them a lot of money. And the community has been asking for this for years and years and years.
Oh, yeah.
What happened? What does my sim do when he goes to work? The 8 hours go by and we don't know what he's actually doing. So when you actually get to sit there and do their job, people will be like, "Oh, it's too much like work. It's too much like real life." But then again, it'll be interesting to see how well fans react to it.
But that's the whole point of The Sims is you play with life. That is their tagline.
Right.
And that is what we have been wanting. We're tired of going through the rabbit hole. We want to see what happens. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, so, Caslin, you're up next with MMO News.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Do I have to? No.
No, you don't have to.
No, this week, actually, not yesterday, Friday, Guild Wars 2 released 6 new screenshots of the new Revenant class. I think you have those, right, Sid?
Yep, I got them. They're up.
They actually look pretty cool. There's a lot of information already out on the class, but just I think that they're actually doing a really good job by adding another class to the game as it is. I still want my Ritualist class, but I guess I'm never gonna get that, or the Dervish class. But I like the fact that everyone look like blind fighters. They all have these masks over their eyes. Every picture you see.
Yeah, I thought they looked interesting.
Yeah, the Star Wars had I can't remember what the race was called, but they had the Jedis that were blind.
Yeah, that's actually the Jedis I always pick for mine.
Yeah, I did too.
Remember General
I always liked that style. Yeah.
So that's why I like that, but that's a different MMO. We talked about that last week.
Okay.
Another story. Now, I know I'm not the only person here who's played EverQuest. Okay? So, the other 2 people that are in this room that played EverQuest that I know of, Pantheon Rise of the Fallen released a new trailer. For all of you that don't know what Pantheon Rise of the Fallen is, it's an MMORPG produced by Visionary Realms Incorporated. The team is filled with amazing people from the industry. Brian McQuaid, the brainchild behind EverQuest and Vanguard. He's the head of the whole thing. And this is what they had to say. Hey everyone, excited to share our first video update of 2015. As we said at the beginning of the year, we were making a conscious shift to raise the bar of Pantheon's visual quality. While not compromising performance, we have put a great amount of energy and research into making the Unity engine give us everything it's got. we purposely not shown much of the game during this time until some of these visual overhauls have been completed and streamlined, which is true because the last time they released any information, I think was November, was the last trailer they released. So they had that little docked period there between those couple of months that they didn't show anything for graphic-wise. But now we're ready to share some of the fruit of this work in today's update. The video is focused on highlighting of new world building and environmental art workflow and the visual improvements of this new pipeline. The video is meant to be fairly conscious and informative. We hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for more gameplay-focused video coming out towards the end of the week. And the minute these guys post anything about that, I'll be the first one to post it because I've been following Pantheon for the last year or so. They went through Kickstarter a couple of times. Brian McQuaid had a couple of hiccups here and there with the development of the game, but he is the reason why I loved MMOs so much. And every MMO that he's created has been right up my alley. Between EverQuest and Vanguard, those two MMOs always have a place in my heart. And I love the way he does things with MMOs. So if you guys are a big MMO fan, I would severely keep your eyes on this one. As long as you're not a instant gratification person, I should say. I know we have a trailer of it. Sid.
Oh man, which one was this one? I'm sorry.
It's Pantheon: Rise of the Fallen.
I don't have a video. I can.
It's right on the bottom of the story.
Internet is so slow.
Yeah, it is.
Trailer. Okay, here we go.
An amazing MMO experience. Unlike anything out there. Hi there, I'm Brad McQuaid, Chief Creative Officer of Visionary Realms, and also one of the producers of Pantheon: Rise of the Fallen. We're here on Kickstarter to ask you for help in the creation of a new MMO. It's a huge open world to explore. It has an emphasis on grouping and working together, making friends. And we also have this really neat combat system that we're putting together that's deeper and hopefully a lot more fun than what you've seen in other MMOs. Our vision for the game is group focused. We feel that when people are working together as a team, that they can accomplish a lot more and feel a lot better afterwards. We also have a combat system that's very involved, it's reactive. You can actually respond to what an NPC is doing to you. We're making a challenging game for players who like to group, who like to work together as a team. We really feel that when you do work together as a team, that the sense of accomplishment you get is something that's truly memorable. We're emphasizing quality over quantity. And we're making a combat system that really makes you, in certain scenarios, plan ahead. In other words, you're coming up on a boss mob. Well, your party needs to prepare. They need to think about who are they going to be fighting, what strategy are they going to be using, what spells should they memorize, that sort of thing. We've really put together an all-star team that's, they're veterans. They're also people that have worked together in the past. We're glad to be back together, and that makes working on this game more fun, but it also makes us more efficient because we know how each other work and what we react to and what we like, and we're really proud of this team.
Long ago, mysterious planar collisions brought together chunks of different worlds to form the planet Terminus. Not only did chunks of mortal worlds get displaced, but so did the deities that they worshipped. What ended up on Terminus was a multitude of diverse pantheons on one world, some watching from the sanctum of their planar shard and others commanding empires as god kings.
In Pantheon, our combat's about preparation, but in order to be prepared, you have to have the proper tools. These tools are called the Spirits of Heroes, and as a fallen warrior, you have to gather these items to become more powerful. Bonding with these fallen heroes will unlock new paths of power. You may even take on their likeness. I really think people are going to love what Pantheon has in store for you.
Pantheon is a group-focused game. The best adventures are those taken with others. Sharing the experience makes everything feel that much more powerful and memorable. To that end, we're actively working to make grouping a fundamental aspect of the game.
In addition to items of power, players will acquire rare and exotic abilities from dungeons, exploration, and bosses. Imagine defeating a powerful wizard like Saruman and not only acquiring his staff or his loot, but also his spells and abilities.
Terminus is epic adventure and discovery in a gorgeous fantasy world, where planar high fantasy meets traditional elements to create dramatically diverse regions. Regions that reward exploration through unique adventures and hidden mysteries. It's going to be a lot of fun creating 3D worlds and concept art for this.
We think it's important players respect the environment. We want to bring back the thrill and danger of exploring uncharted territories. I want to see epic raid zones like my personal favorite, North TOV, and a really cool class design that's unique and plays different like the EQ1 Monk or Enchanter.
As a fallen hero, it is up to you to gather others and explore the wilds of Terminus. It's through this cooperation you'll uncover mysteries and amazing adventures while trying to regain pieces of your past.
We wanted to create a setting that would provide the sense of adventure and epic scale that would compel you and reward you for jumping off the beaten path. Every step in Terminus has a tale to tell. Pantheon is about you and your party adventuring into the depths of a dungeon, engaging bosses, and learning new strategies to overcome more difficult encounters.
When groups have finally conquered a vast underground dungeon, they'll feel a great sense of accomplishment. Quite simply, the greater the risk, the greater the reward.
One reason we chose Kickstarter is that we're making a game with a target audience. We're not trying to make a game that is all things to all people. Kickstarter gives us the freedom to work directly with our players in terms of game design and not have to answer to a higher power. It also allows us to more easily build community. Check out the other video on our site where I answer questions directly from you, the players. Thank you for checking out our site, and please come back often for future updates.
With Pantheon, we hope to deliver a deep and rich experience that will keep people engaged at all levels. So,
join us.
Help us.
Rise up.
Pantheon. Rise of the Fallen. This is gonna rock.
Become one of the Fallen.
Awesome, so that looks pretty cool. I apologize. That is the an old trailer of the game. We will have the new trailer up in chat and also on our website. So it has they've gotten a lot more done and better graphics on their trailers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody can see, but if you don't recognize all those names that work on that game, you know, there's a lot of people from EverQuest, a lot of people from Defiance, you know, EverQuest 2, PlanetSide, a lot of SOE people that, you know, are involved in this. Mm-hmm. Again, they had this big form that you had to fill out when you go to their website. They actually asked the community what was your favorite things that happened in MMO, what was your favorite, you know, zones, and why you like this. If you had to rate from 1 to, you know, these 10 different things, put them on the scale of what they mean to you in importance. It took me like, I don't know, I was on the call with Pandora. I think it took me like an hour and a half to fill out all 10, 15 questions. Mm-hmm. But if you guys want to check that out, just go to Pantheon, you know, Rise of the Fallen, their website, and you'll be able to see that. But I'm going to post their link in the chat for the new video, and as well, I'm going to put it on our website.
Cool. All right. So up next we do have Pandora's PlayStation news.
Yeah. Starting off with what's pretty big news for PlayStation owners. The 4X strategy comes to PlayStation 4 with Worlds of Magic, which I'm sure Kaz is familiar with, considering that's a big PC game. The 4X genre, which if you're not familiar, that stands for Explore, Expand, Exploit, and Exterminate, has been long a game type only available for the PC, with a few exceptions, building up civilizations from scratch or flinging ships across the universe has always been, but just out of reach for controller-bound console players, but not anymore. That's what Worlds of Magic, now that Worlds of Magic is coming to the PlayStation 4. The console port of Wasteland Interactive's Opus is being worked on and polished, or worked on by Polish publisher. Is it Tion, I think? If I'm wrong, I apologize. Traditionally a publisher for Nintendo. Worlds of Magic will be its first PlayStation 4 release, with the PC release on March 19th. The game should be available on the PlayStation 4 sometime around the third quarter of this year. Worlds of Magic is a massive game featuring procedurally generated maps that span the 7 planes of existence. There are more than 10 different terrain types and 80 military units, as well as a magic system that employs a crafting mechanic to create unique spells, battles to take place not on the large overworld map, but on a smaller grid-based tactical map, and employ D20-based combat system. And I believe we do have a trailer for that.
Cool, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
I dig the music.
Yeah, trailer makes it look really good.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on, we're gonna try to get through these because we're running short on time here. Deep Down is still in development. I know you guys remember this game, at least.
I've been waiting for this game.
Yeah, well, it's undergone some changes, Sid. Capcom first teased the PlayStation 4 game, Deep Down, remember, back in February 2013. Since then, we've learned that the game is free to play and is set in New York City. It's a strange time travel vibe with elements taking place in the future, while combat appears to occur in a Gothic setting. Unfortunately, it's going to be a while before we get our hands on it. Speaking with Japanese outlet 4Gamer, Ono says that the title has undergone some revisions because parts of the game just weren't good enough. When it re-emerges, the concepts will be larger and what we see might look entirely different. The team is giving it more time so that when the title does launch, players will want to stick around. And moving on. Now, this is kind of interesting. Retailers are now giving away PlayStation TV. You know, that little device that you can stick on top of your television and stream like Netflix and your PlayStation 4 games.
Sorry, Retro.
Yeah, well, they're giving it away. Following a $20 price cut earlier this year, that saw the PlayStation TV's price fall from $100 to $80. Retailers are now giving away the micro console as part of a new promotion. GameStop, when you buy a PlayStation 4 and a 12-month subscription to PlayStation Plus, you will receive the PS TV unit for free. Consumers will also get a free digital copy of The Last of Us Remastered, and it's part of the $450 bundle. And it will be available on their website and in store through February 24th, starting February 24th. Cheap Ass Gamer reports that Best Buy will also offer a similar deal starting the 22nd of February. And the PS TV launched in Japan in 2013 before coming to the U.S. A year later. The micro console can play mini PlayStation Vita games in addition to digital PlayStation 1 and PSP games. Through remote play, PS TV can be used to stream your PlayStation 4 games from one PlayStation 4 console onto a separate television that the PS TV is connected to. In addition, PS TV just recently added support for Sony's game streaming service PlayStation Now, which is a pretty big deal there. And real quickly, the final story here, and we'll have a trailer for this. The new Bloodborne trailer has been aired by publisher Sony, and showcasing the game's disturbing creatures and brooding gothic landscape. Bloodborne is in the final stage of production from Software, the Tokyo studio most famous for its acclaimed Dark Souls titles. Bloodborne will release March 24th in the US and the 27th in the UK, and is a PlayStation 4 exclusive.
And we're rolling.
Welcome home, good hunter. What is it you desire?
Yharnam is the home of blood ministration. You need only unravel its mystery. But where's an outsider like yourself to begin? Easy, with a bit of Yharnam blood of your own. Whatever happens, you may think it all a mere bad dream. Long ago, old Yharnam was overrun by the plague of beasts and left to rot and decay. And now the only voices heard there are the howls of beasts.
Our thirst for blood satiates us, soothes our fears. But beware, the frailty of men.
The blood makes us human, makes us more than human, makes us human no more.
Good hunter, your presence somehow soothes. What is it you desire? And so, the hunt begins again.
Why don't I have a PlayStation 4?
Yeah, that looks cool.
I'm gonna play that.
Yeah. The more I see of that game, the more I want it. Because I was on the fence about it, but because it just seems like it's a button mashing Devil May Cry, which those are okay. But the more I see,
it also looks like it has looks like it has co-op elements to it too.
Yeah, it looks interesting. It
does.
And the more I see it, the more when I first saw it, I'm like,
yeah, that's the way I was.
Another hack and slash game, another Diablo style hack and
slash. Right.
But as they keep showing more and more stuff, I'm getting more piqued interest in it. And I'm like, oh, this is actually looking really, really cool. I like the concept of it. I like the graphics of it too.
Yeah, the art
like
style.
The last couple of games for PlayStation that's come out, like the Order and such like that, it's just been, the graphics have been incredible.
Yeah. I think we're going to see more and more like that too throughout the year. More and more.
I hope so. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hope so. Hack and slash are fun, Brazik, but I have to be in the mood for a hack and slash.
Yeah, me too.
I do have to be in the mood for one. So, and actually lately I have been in the mood for a hack and slash. So that is that.
That trailer was for Brazix, by the way.
You've been playing Diablo, so your excuse for a hack and slash is not.
I have been playing Diablo, yes I have.
But again, Diablo is a hack and slash.
Where's the wooden shoe?
Hang on.
Hang on.
He's got one.
While you do that, we got Kazlin up next with Kazlin's Corner. Or no, I'm sorry, Kazlin's PC news.
Underworld Ascendants gets Steam greenlight. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. It's they made that game called they made a few games called Underworld. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's the ones who inspired games like BioShock and System Shock and all that stuff. They had what they learned on the forum polls. 74% of the players, 74% have played the Underworlds before. 28 have some or a lot of interest in virtual reality, lower than we anticipated. 8% play their games on Mac or Linux, actually more than we anticipated. 42% have some or a lot of interest in co-op, and what we anticipated. About what they anticipated, and 97% have been playing PC games for a decade or longer. Where are the youngins? So that is that's pretty cool that they got back it so quickly on Steamlight, on Greenlight. Castle Story comes to PAX East 2015 show floor. If you guys want to check it out, it is at booth 6200.
6200?
Yes, booth 6200 on the show floor. Bedlam awaits PC gamers as Skyshine Games unite with Versus Evil. Leading indie publishers set to bring successful Kickstarter game to market. Bedlam, you'll be able to read this more on our website. You guys head on over to sticksbroadcast.com. It should be there either tonight after the show or tomorrow. We're still trying to fine-tune the news section on the site, so bear with us. The Dawn of Terror comes. Dungeon 2 release date confirmed for 24th of April. I don't know if you guys know what Dungeons was, but it wasn't a pretty bad game. It was like a Diablo-esque type of, you build your own dungeons and went through them. It was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty different. And that's all there is for PC news.
Cool. Excellent. Well, all right. Go ahead and show it, Pandora.
What are we showing? Oh,
You're high, Brazzix.
Oh, here we go, Braz. This is for you.
There we go. There's the shoe. Now, what I want to understand is you guys keep offering her a wooden shoe. Why just one? She has 2 feet.
Well, she has one on Geezer's Minecraft server, so she only needs the other one.
The whole wooden shoe thing is so funny if you understand where it came from in the beginning. But I won't get into that right now because we don't have enough time. That's not enough time.
Oh, she says her shoe on the Minecraft server is better.
Oh, snap, Pandora.
Pandora.
You better get cracking.
And I'm the one that started it.
Brazzix.
Hurt my feelings.
That's okay, Pandora. I'll take that shoe.
You'll take that shoe. And you'll
That's
like
right.
Okay. Well, do we have? I think we have a little bit of Nintendo news we can get through.
I will try.
Okay, just a few things. We got some extra time here, I guess.
The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D released a week ago, and the sales on it were massive. You can't even get a hold of it. But GameStop is trying to kind of offset those bad feelings by
making more bad feelings.
Yeah, exactly. Giving supposedly a new bundle for the new Majora's Mask 3D. You would get, for $284.96, you'd receive the new Nintendo 3DS XL in either black or red, and the Majora's Mask, an e-guide for Majora's Mask 3D, and either the Super Smash Brothers or Monster Hunter. If you pick the black starter bundle, the Super Smash Brothers would come with that. And if you pick the red one, you get the Monster Hunter Ultimate. If you have no desire to pick up the e-guide, then the bundle is not at all for you, as it costs $5 more than the handheld and 2 games put together. However, if you want the e-guide to get through Majora's Mask, you can save $5 by purchasing this bundle. So there's a little explanation as to why there had been a shortage of the stock of Majora's Mask new 3DS and certain amiibo. Oh, I cannot say it. Amiibo figures. During the investor Q&A that Nintendo held earlier this week, Satoru Iwata gave a reason for the new 3DSs and Amiibo stock shortages. Apparently, there is a strike on the West Coast. Port strikes have impacted the stock for Nintendo 3DS Majora's Mask's new 3DS system. And that's the only reason why some stock for the Amiibo figures have been low as well. The West Coast port strikes have not impacted the stock on other software, and U.S. gamers can easily purchase Nintendo video games, other video games. They are hoping that the strike ends soon so they can get the new Majora's Mask 3DS and the Amiibo figures. Apparently, that strike is kind of keeping that stock from being delivered. So that's it.
That and also the guy from our very first episode that bought all the amiibos.
Yeah, yeah, the one that didn't
are
love the
keeping
Princess Peach
people
one,
from buying it.
Funny
All
note
right.
on that, I actually stopped by his YouTube channel the other day, and he was
Oh.
raging more about Amiibo. So it's.
Oh man,
It's on.
I don't know what his issue is.
All right. Well, Kazlan, bring us on home, man.
All right, for Kaz's Corner this week, I wanted to talk. There's been a lot of speculation in the news this week, over the order, whether it be short, long, who cares? Okay. It's all up to the consumer on what they're willing to pay for. It's whether, if you like a 6-hour game and you're willing to spend $60 on a 6-hour game, that's up to you. Again, this can lead us back to what we were talking about earlier with Pandora's box. You know, you get what you pay for, and you buy the things that you want. So if what is right for you is you're okay with paying $6 for a 6-hour game, that's your choice. And for people to sit and judge other people for that, that's not cool. I mean, I personally, Pandora knows my opinion on it. I think that it wasn't right for me. As much as I thought the game looked interesting, I personally wouldn't have bought that game because to me that's not long enough. And I like games that give me a long period of time for my $60. A game like Dragon Age will give me 100 hours, or, you know, it doesn't even have to be that long. You know, something like 20 hours. And people like, well, Kaz, you know, you could go spend, you know, buy 10 spend, you know, $6 on movie tickets, you know, whether it be that's, you know, 6 movies or whatever, and that'll give you, you know, hour and a half, 2 hours each movie. Well, again, yeah, that's a different story. I mean, that's visual entertainment. That's not physical entertainment. It's with games, the way you play. I totally don't think that people need to sit there and judge what is okay for the community to buy and not to buy. If you don't like the game, don't buy it. And there was a whole racism thing that I'll probably get into for next week's Kaz in the Corner, because I absolutely hate when racism is brought into the whole video game industry. It's just mind-boggling. This guy actually had to pull out the racism card. And I don't like that at all. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I mean, I know, Sid, you bought the order.
I did.
Do you think it was really worth the $60? Because of...
I'm on the fence about that because the story, the gameplay was phenomenal. Honestly, it was challenging. It was tough. There was a good story. I don't want to spoil anything for those people out there that want to play the game. I'm terrible about keeping secrets, and I am definitely trying my hardest not to spill any beans about this. The ending, basically the ending. So I'm not even going to say anything about that. The ending, I will say that the ending itself was kind of a WTF? What the fuck?
Right.
And that was it. And it did leave me with that. So those of you who are curious about that, you know, the ending and such, that you can go to my stream and watch that broadcast. That was a couple nights ago, the broadcast of it, and I think the broadcast has the entire sitting of the entire game.
Yes.
So, but I'm on the fence about the $60 thing because yes, I got the eye candy, I got the gameplay, I got the story. The only thing I didn't get was the length. It did leave you wanting more.
Okay, so
Isn't that what a game's supposed to do, though?
Yeah. No.
Yes.
Again, like
for the next game, you know.
I don't want to ruin anything. I'm treading very carefully on what I'm saying.
I don't want to discuss the ending, but what I'm saying is, it left. It left you wanting it, right?
If I go into any more detail, it kind of gives away of the ending. I don't want to do that, but yes, it does leave you wanting. And
but
never used that turn of phrase before. That's interesting.
like a game like that.
But yeah,
I mean, the single play was absolutely amazing. You know, according to you.
It was.
But now, let's say they would have added a little bit of multiplayer. Now would have been worth $60 to you? Like a multiplayer like Mass Effect, you know, just go around killing, you know, waves of monsters, whatever. Would that be worth the $60 or not?
It's hard to say because my interpretation of games is definitely different than any other person's interpretation of games. This is my opinion. Mass Effect, yes, is worth $60 for me because it still gives me that gameplay. It still gives me that storyline. And it still gives me that desire, like, you know, there was a Mass Effect. At the end of each Mass Effect, you knew that there was going to be a continuation of it. You were anticipating that new game. It left you wanting to play that next game. This Bloodborne is the same way. It's just shorter. It left me wanting to play it. In my opinion, I think I would pay the $60 for the Bloodborne game. And I have.
You mean the order?
I'm sorry. Oh, Bloodborne. I
Yeah.
Bloodborne,
Yeah.
don't I meant the order. I'm sorry, guys. I meant the order. I have not played Bloodborne. But yes, I mean it's hard to compare Mass Effect to the Order just in the simple fact that both of them are really, really good games. Both of them really, really play well.
That's not what I was.
Both of them have a good storyline. Mass Effect is longer. It has more stuff to do.
Right, but I'm saying, like, let's say, you know, the Order added on a multiplayer mode, like the way that, you know, Mass Effect did. Yeah, little PvP, little thing, or, you know, even a wave clearing like Mass Effect 3 had, you know. It would have, you know, added something else to, because a lot of people were bitching that, you know, for $60, you know, the game's only $6, whatever, and there's nothing that else they can do. Once they beat the story, they beat the story. It's not like they can go online and play multiplayer, you know, to expand the life of the game.
They did lag. I mean, you're with 4 other people in the game, but there's no co-op whatsoever. It's all a single player. I kind of see why they did it. I kind of don't see why they didn't do it, you know?
Well, I'd like to chime in a little bit on that. Gears of War, or not Gears of War, God of War, same thing. There's no online play, there's no co-op, and it's about 6 hours long. But
the thing with God of War is you don't have 4 other people following you.
No, you don't. But I'm saying there's just as much content in the game. We're talking about the length of games here, and talking about the value of the buck here. Is a 6-hour game acceptable? Well, I don't hear people crying about God of War. That's what I'm saying. There was no online play in that game. There was no multiplayer. There was no player versus player. There was only a single story campaign. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
And I think that game is worth every penny.
And
too. I love the God of War game.
It's one of the biggest selling franchises in PlayStation, but you don't hear people crying about it. I beat God of War in 5.5 hours. So did I enjoy it? Of course I did. See, the thing for me is, as long as it's entertaining, as long as I'm having fun, it doesn't matter if it's 5.5, 6 hours. If it keeps my attention. What I don't like is a game that's 10 or 12 hours that I'm running around skinning the hides off of rabbits, or climbing up trees and shaking down berries, or whatever there is to just fill the game out to make it seem like there's content when there's really no content. I don't want to run around making hides. If I'm playing, say for example, Assassin's Creed, I want to kill people. I want to be an assassin. I want to jump down from the ledges of buildings and stab people with my blade. I don't want to run around in the woods climbing up in trees and taking out deers and rabbits. To me, that's filler. It's like I was telling Titch the other day. It's a distraction from the game because the story's not that long. It makes the story seem like it's longer because there's no, because they've added all this extra little time-consuming, tedious little side quests and little missions that really have nothing to do with the advancement of the story. It's just to consume your time. I get frustrated when I'm playing a game and those elements are in the game because I'm like you, I have OCD. I want to stick to the story. If I'm playing Assassin's Creed, I want to assassinate. I don't want to be killing bunny rabbits. You know what I mean? That just doesn't appeal to me. It's a time-consuming waste of time for me. So I don't see this issue being as big of an issue as people are making out to be, because what the Order did is what the Order said it was going to do. It brought you great graphics and a good story, and it kept you entertained for that 6 hours. It moved forward constantly.
It did. Let me put it this way. I started that game and I got pretty far into it, and at 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning, in the back of my head, I knew I had to go to sleep. I had to go to sleep because I had to go to work. But I kept well, let me just get a little bit further. The game is so well put together. They're utilizing certain aspects of the game, certain new technologies. I don't know if technologies is a good word for it, but new ways of basically seamlessly putting the game together. Not once was there really a loading screen in the game.
There wasn't.
Nope.
They utilized the Destiny trick with the long passageways to load the next part of the game. So the game really it was hard. That's why it was so hard to put down.
Right.
Because you're continuing into the storyline. You're playing this game. You're wanting to know what's going on with this whole storyline. You're wanting to know why Sir Galahad is such a badass.
Right.
And and the game just keeps going, and there's no loading. There's no pause. Wait. Okay. It's loading. Okay. Well, maybe I should just stop. This is a good place to stop here. I'll put it away. No, it kept driving you forward. We're talking about hey Bodique. We're talking about the Order. And that just came out, and then the controversies of why about it being too short. And I'm just saying that the game was just so well put together that when it did end, you're like, why did it end? Why? I want more.
Right.
I want more. I want to play more. This game will probably be one of the few games that I will probably play multiple times just to play it.
Well,
and I have really bad video game OCD. That usually when I replay like the Assassin's Creed games, I can't play them a second time because I'm like, I've done this before. I don't want to do it again. I've done all the work for this. This one, I feel that I can actually play this multiple times.
Well, Retro Godfather in the chat made a really good point. The Last of Us ended like Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, in mid-step, and no one complains about that. He has a point.
Well, again, I mean, the reason why people are complaining because, let's face it, last year we got burned on games.
Right.
Yes, we
got burned so bad that we are going to hate anything that's not the way it's supposed to be.
Or what we visualize should be.
Right. I mean, like, Forbes wrote a whole article about this, too, as well, if you guys want to go and read it on Forbes. But, they said, The Last of Us, they would have expected... they would have got an 80 on Metacritic 2 years ago, a 90 on Metacritic 4 years ago, and maybe a 95 6 years ago, because we wouldn't have all these problems. I mean, last year was just a heap and pile of dog crap dropped on our laps. We had Watch Dogs, nothing but issues. We had Titanfall, nothing but issues. We had Destiny,
Unity,
which was, hyped all to hell, and it left a lot of bad taste in people's mouths, whether you like it or you don't like it. And then we had, obviously, the big name, Unity. So people are going to complain about games here. I mean, I hate to say it, but I think Bloodborne is way overhyped for what it is. To me, it looks like it's going to be another, Dark Souls type of spin-off, just with another name on it and a little bit more flashier graphics. And I can almost guarantee you, if that game is 9 hours, 8 hours, 10-hour storyline, it's gonna be right in the same category as The Order. It's not gonna be any different, and people are gonna bitch about it to the end of time because, again, we got burnt so bad on last year's games that this year's games are going to take the flack of it too. Like I said, as bad as Unity was, and what happens to Unity, That's why Ubisoft has to make sure that they're very careful in what they do with The Order. The Division and Rainbow Six, and even the next Assassin's Creed game that's coming out at the Victory at the end of the year. So those 3 games, they better deliver on it, or they're gonna fold to the point where the community is not gonna even trust what they have to say.
Right. What I'd like to present to you in what you're discussing here is video games can be multi-purposed in the sense that I may feel like I want to hack and slash today. Tomorrow I may feel like I want to grind and play some Destiny. I might feel like I'm in a role-playing game mood a week from now. What I think The Order does, and I think The Order does it very well, is probably better than most games that are out, that has come out since the new gen, which is now the current gen, is immersion. You cannot really put a dollar value on a game like The Order, because sitting and watching someone play it is not the same as having that controller in your hand and playing a game that literally never stops from the moment you start it till the moment you get to the ending, because there are no side quests, there are no distractions. It is a completely character story driven in sense of immersion, and you are part of that experience. And when I was watching Sid play this, I can tell you that
I could not put it down.
His immersion in the game versus my just spectating it were completely different. I was enjoying it because it just was so compelling. It did have that movie sense, that playable movie feel to it, because it was so graphically enhanced.
Yeah, it was like watching a movie.
Yeah, it was, but I wasn't playing it. But I could tell by the way that Sid was reacting that he was so immersed into this game. His immersion was so into this game that he was like part of this game. So is that worth Sid paying $60? I guess that's up to the individual. But I don't know why complaining about it should be, why anybody should be complaining, especially a game that they were complaining about before it even hit the market, man. These people were complaining about this game 2 days before it ever released, as if they had played it.
Well,
we all know playing and spectating are two different things. I've spectated games and said, yeah, I wouldn't like that. And then my friend was like, here, no, man, try it. Took it home, popped it in my console, took the controller, started playing. I was like, wow, this game's actually pretty cool. So there's a disconnect if you're not playing it and you are playing it. So I don't know. Sid played it. I'm sure that just by his reaction, he was really into that game. And I've seen Sid play a lot of games. And I don't know that I've seen him play many that he was quite that into it.
There's a couple, and when I do get immersed in a game, I actually fall really, really silent. Mm-hmm. And there was a couple of times in the stream where I was willing myself to talk because I knew I knew people watching, and I got indulged.
Right, you was sucked in.
I was so, for lack of a better word, sucked in. But yeah, I mean.
Well, and how much?
To me, it was for me personally. The Order was worth every dollar.
Right.
Every discounted dollar that I paid for.
The thing is, how much money do we slam down on a dinner and a movie out, and half the time you don't have as much fun as Sid had playing that freaking game. I can tell you that.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm trying to eliminate the whole, well, the game's only 6 hours. And again, if 6 hours to me is not me worth spending the $60 plus on after tax or whatever, because I don't know if that game will be, and I watch you play Sid, and I watch other people play it, I don't know if I'm going to get enough replay value out of that game to warrant the $60. Again, I understand that people, you know, like they said, you can go buy 6 movie tickets at $10 a piece, and that's the same thing. Goes watch 6 movies, but to me, that's not, you know, and that's what I'm trying to say is I don't want people to think that I am defending the order being only 6 hours, or I'm against the order being 6 hours. I have an opinion.
You're just putting that question out there.
My opinion is, and this is my opinion, there's nobody else's opinion but mine, and if you don't agree with me, you don't have to. But the $60 to me for a game has to be well worth my time and effort to play the game, enjoy it, and have replay value. And again, like Sid, you mentioned Assassin's Creed. Now I can go back and play Assassin's Creed over and over and over again because I find the replay value. Yeah, I might not do it right away because there's only so many times you can play a story over before you get bored or sick of it.
Yeah, I tried.
But after like 6 months or whatever, I might go back and play them all over one right after another because it's that good of a game in my opinion. But now, people say, you know, $6 for a short game is not worth it. But then they also say $60 for a long game, you know, that you get bored halfway through playing, never finish it, it's not worth it either. Well,
right.
What's the difference? I like the longer games.
So ultimately, it really just comes down to the eye of the beholder.
Right, it does.
Yeah, it does.
And also, and all I can do for you guys out there is give you my opinion. I love the game. I would highly suggest the game. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of flack about this game, and again, it comes down to like the Unity. They had the embargo for 12 hours, you know, after the game was released, that you couldn't release your reviews of the game. So they basically, people don't bought this heap of pile of crap and didn't know what they were getting until, you know, 12 hours after they bought the game. That's when all the reviews came out. Well, on the other hand, this is what happened to the order. There was no embargo, so you had guys that got media copies, you know, 2 days in advance, 3 days in advance, a week in advance, and they released these things saying that, you know, game's 6 hours long. Well, you heard the uproar from the community about how crappy that was, and again, this is something we can talk about next week on because there is.
Yeah, it's definitely a debate, you know, that could go on hours and hours and hours, but unfortunately we do have to go. So, well, thank you for bringing up that subject. I mean, that is a good subject to talk about, and definitely, you know, something that I want to touch on again, definitely. So, again, thank you guys for joining us for tonight. That is our show. We are the Save Point Show. I am Sidious67.
Victory! And Gingy!
Or Pandora.
Gingy
stole my...
Man, Gingy stole your thunder.
Sorry!
Stole my thunder!
I'm sorry.
God.
God, say it again, Pandora. This time with feeling.
Well, now it sticks because you got to add the G in between the T and the Y.
No, the G is silent. The G is silent.
That was awesome.
All right, again, that's our show. Just remember, we're always telling you to save early, save often. Thank you. Good night.
Bye. Sorry, Pandora. Bye.
Oh, it's okay. I just rolled with it.
It's not just Pandora. I didn't get to say my name either, so be quiet.
Sorry, Caslin.
Caslin 143.